What is up, everybody? My name is Justin Alvarado, and welcome to the MVP podcast. And today I am joined by this beautiful girl who I met at Magic 89.9. She is a junior jock as well. Um, she's a batch higher than me. She's batch 2017. I'm batch 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Um, and of course, she's also known as the courtside reporter for UP Diliman, and she was the courtside reporter for last season, and she's done amazing work. And so I am honored to have her on the show. So without further ado, please welcome Miss Yani Mayo. How are you doing?
Hey! Thank you so much for having me. Grabe
Thank
naman
you.
the introduction Like extensive introduction.
What? That's just like two
My gosh.
descriptions. I just made it
It
longer.
was like stretched. Yeah, you stretched it.
Okay, my bad. But what are you up to these days? I mean, recently you just graduated, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yeah.
you know, everyone's got a lot of time to do whatever these days. So,
Did
what's
you just
the latest
did you
ganap?
graduate na?
Yeah, last February actually, I graduated.
All right. That's why you have so much time to do the midnight sessions on
Yes,
Magic. I
that's
was like, this
why.
guy.
That's why people ask me, but ang dami mong time when they ask why I go to Magic at like 12 until like 5 a.m. And then I say, I mean, I got all the time in the world. I don't go to school.
Okay, gets. This makes so much sense. Okay. So for me, um, in the lockdown, I've just been trying to, well, the start of the lockdown, I've been trying to get my mental health together because it really messed my world up. I mean,
Right.
it messed a lot of people's world up. So
Yeah.
I think I've been concentrating on my personal development and mental health at the start. Then I transitioned to um, getting my social media more active. And now I got a new job. My
Oh,
gosh,
congrats. What
adulting.
job?
I'm a sports associate and assistant for one of the more known news reporters in sports.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
excited.
Congrats.
It's so cool. Thank
When did you
you.
start?
Oh my gosh, what day is it today? It's a Monday. I just had my 1 week anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Like I just
Fresh
started
pa
a week
lang.
ago. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you do? Do you write
Super.
or do you what do you do in particular?
So um the job requires me to write news as well, but my boss has been easing me in. So right now I've just been helping with her social media, and I've been giving news updates daily, like different articles regarding sports that's been happening. And I think my main takeaway was, wow, my gosh, I'm learning so much about sports. Like I didn't even know boxing that much, but it's kind of straightforward to understand.
I think
It's
so.
I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah.
So like okay, I'm curious. What wasn't the what's the part that you didn't understand with boxing back then?
Okay, well, boxing for me wasn't the sport that I'd like watching. I mean, like, it wasn't, I mean,
Hmm.
fighting inside the
Yes.
ring wasn't very appealing to me. And I just chose not to understand it before. But now that I'm put in the situation to actually study different sports, it's pretty straightforward. Like, if the punch goes lands on the person, that's like you
Point.
count it on
Yeah.
this. Yeah, it's a statistic. It's a thing.
Well, at least your job is very much, I guess, within your ballpark.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right now. Yeah, I think yeah. Before, kasi I wasn't really into sports, so now,
Hmm.
medyo, yeah.
So when did you actually get into sports?
When I say I wasn't into sports, I guess I didn't really consciously um, wanted to understand different sports, but I I was I played badminton for half of my life because my dad um, does a lot of sports, and I was the first child, and I feel like they were all guys in his family. So he was like, "What am I gonna do with this gender? Like she's a girl. What else are we gonna do with her?" So he put me in a lot of classes, badminton mostly, and then I got into swimming and all of the other sports. But I didn't really get into the nitty gritty of sports, like
Mm-hmm.
the rules, the terms, and all of that stuff. So most recently, especially with the UAAP, that's when I actually studied basketball, volleyball, and all the other sports.
Okay. So it was more like how do I say it? You had like a general understanding of sports, but then because of your like position as a courtside reporter, you studied it more.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. Without,
Mm,
yeah, I think that is the best way to put it. So I did have a general understanding of sports. Then, because of UAP, I actually studied. I checked the rules for basketball and volleyball and read the manual of rules for basketball. I forgot what it was called. FIBA ata.
mm-hmm.
FIBA rule. I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay. So out of all of those, I'm curious. Like you just mentioned, you studied a lot of different sports and you've played some sports as well. Alin din yung, would you say, yung favorite mo?
favorite sport.
Or if it's separate, if you're
Huh.
a fan or if you play the sport as well.
Uh, mm, Actually, I did have a choice when it came to playing badminton, so I'm not sure
Mm,
if that would be my favorite sport. It was just a sport I grew up with. I don't know if a lot of people could relate to that because, you were thrusted upon the situation,
right.
and that just became something that you did all the time. But um, I think in terms of watching it, I'd love I'd love to see volleyball back again because it's so entertaining to watch.
Mm,
But in terms of the people, basketball is so interesting because you have a lot of personalities that make up a certain team, or you get updated with their lives. They're more, I guess, they're more known in that way. So I don't really have a favorite sport. They're interesting in
mm.
different aspects.
Okay. So I'm I'm curious when you mentioned basketball has interesting personalities. Like okay, it's a given. I would say that basketball is, I guess, would be the most popular sport, or at least one of the most popular sports in the country.
Yeah.
So naturally, it would get the most attention, if you can say that. But what about the personalities?
Personalities. Hmm. There's nothing bad. I didn't encounter any bad personalities.
Uh
But,
huh.
I just got really culture shocked with the, like, in the team that I was in, it was a pretty known team because we had a lot of personalities in season 82. So when I got in, I was legit culture shocked. I didn't understand, like, a lot of people actually, follow these guys, and a lot of people would spend time to stalk them or go after
Mm,
them. And that really shocked me. There was a time when a fan went in the practice, and that fan was um recognized me. So that that was a, I don't know, it was so uncomfortable. So I had to hide behind Kobe Paras. I was like, Kobe has like this intimidating aura, right? So I go
yeah.
beside him, and I'm like, I'm kind of overwhelmed here. And he goes, okay. I asked him, can I just stay beside you for a while? And the fans wouldn't really approach Kobe because he does have an intimidating aura. So I was like, just hiding behind him. I'm like the smallest person in the entire practice area. So
Wow. Okay. Um. Okay. Since you brought it up, I think I saw it
what? You
on
know, you're scary.
Twitter the other day. Okay. No, you IG storied it. You were. I think you said something like,
Okay.
um, I think people are
Which
fighting you
one?
over
There's like
your
so many.
relationship status on Twitter.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? I mean, yun nga, like courtside reporters get into relationships. I think like the past 2 years, something like that. Out of all
Yeah.
the personalities
Okay.
that you met, like walang boyfriend material.
Wow. Okay, so we're going into this question.
Okay, after
Wow.
this sports na
Wild.
talaga.
Wild. Okay. Okay. Um. Hmm. Okay. Let me just preface this by saying it's a running joke, even for all of my friends. Like my relationship status is a running joke for even for all of my friends because it's been it's been vacant my entire being, like 22 years of my life. There's
Oh,
none, no one. Yeah. So I mean, I date around and stuff like that, and my friends would love to hear about my stories, but yeah, nothing really happens. So every time someone brings up my relationship status, it's just a joke. And I feel like the fans or the people on Twitter and the people who follow me just caught on, and they also tease me about it. And it doesn't really bother me in any way because I've accepted I've accepted the fact that, let's just stop it. I mean, let's stop looking for someone. So um in terms of personalities that are relationship material, okay, so let's say that they're all relationship material, so I'm not biased. Let's
yes.
say that.
That's the safe
And
answer.
yeah, that is the safest answer. They're great in different ways, guys. But actually, before I went in courtside, I promised myself that I wouldn't get into any other kind of relationship with any person I worked with. So I didn't want to be distracted in that way or whatever. So before I met the
Mm,
teams and stuff like that, before I met any of the teams, like I courtsided for a lot of teams, and I was friends with different athletes in different schools. Then I was like, this is no, we are not doing this at this time. I'm courtside for the first time, getting thrust into the camera, and I don't choose to have a relationship right now because it's gonna be another different challenge to
yes.
undergo. Yeah.
Okay. Respect to that, of course. So what about like okay, diba you mentioned yun nga, you were a courtside reporter and then you've had tons of experience, meeting different people, watching different kinds of games. When you appreciate sports, does it um just fall under like what's happening in the UAAP, or do you have you come to like appreciate and watch, sports like the PBA, NBA, or international, or on different levels?
Mm. So while I was in the UAAP, yeah, it was primarily concentrated on UAAP. But now in the lockdown, I've been craving for sports in different aspects. So I have been more into the NBA. Like it's something that I always just hear growing up, but I didn't really delve into, understanding the NBA. But now that it's here, I actually researched on it, did a crash course on YouTube on the NBA, and it's actually very interesting. The storyline that they put up for the Lakers and the Heat is like, for someone
Which
who
one?
just came in, I can't really pick a team because they're both really compelling storylines for the Lakers
Mm,
and the Heat, like for them individually. So I've also been getting into the PBA tennis national teams because The job that I have now as a sports associate requires me to study different sports, and wherever the Filipino is, the Filipino athlete is, I have to be there too. I have to understand what's happening.
Gets. So when you said Lakers and Heat, um, you don't have like a favorite, but do you have like a pick to win?
You know what? Actually, growing up, I've always been like Lakers because I always hear it.
Well,
2010 was
it's
a
the most
defining
popular.
moment of my life. Yeah, it is. And yeah, I actually just Lakers, but I want a really good NBA finals. Like, I don't want this to end soon. So I also root for the Heat from time to time. Whichever is more entertaining at the moment, that would be, that's where I head towards. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to all the NBA fans, pero I want the entertaining finals.
No, 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 I mean, it's. I've met a lot of people actually who have the same view because, okay, some people, of course, die hard, one team only, live or die by that team, diba? Pero,
Yeah.
there are people who I've met na, like, they actually change their team from time to time just because of that team being more entertaining at the moment. And I don't, and
Mm,
actually respect to that because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Because, I mean, if it makes you happy, just roll with it. I mean, you're not
true.
hurting anyone.
True.
And, especially if you're just a casual fan, diba? Like, there's no, like, pressure to just stick to one team. So,
Yeah.
I'm curious in terms of you as a courtside reporter, like, okay, wait, sige. Before that, question first. Did you watch like UAAP games before you were a courtside reporter, or you just started watching when you became one?
No, I watched UAP games before I was a courtside reporter.
Okay.
It would always play in our college, TV, and then we'd always watch it
Mm.
here at home. And actually, before I got in UP, I cursed myself. I told my friends, I'm not gonna get a relationship until UP wins the UAAP like champion. So I feel like I dug my own grave because I knew at the time that UP wasn't winning, and at the time I was like, oh, I don't want to have a relationship. But yeah, that's basically how it. I think I cursed myself then.
Okay. So, is there like a difference you would say watching games as a regular or casual fan compared to watching games as a courtside reporter?
Oh, for sure. Like as a courtside reporter, I feel like I was so blessed to be in a position where I can actually hear them talking.
Right.
And they give way to me. Like I'm the smallest person in any team that I've courtside reported for. And they push me in so that I could hear, and they give way whenever I try to hear the story. So yeah, for being able to, courtside, I was given the privilege to be the eyes and ears of the fans in that perspective. And but it's actually super fun then to watch it in audience point of view, because you're with the crowd and everyone's just cheering with you. You can hear all of the
Yeah.
trash talk on the benches.
Yeah. Wow. So, you would say because of the position that you were in, mas parang mas feel mo siya because you have like I guess more skin in the game.
Yeah, actually, we had this rule when we got in courtside. We aren't supposed to put in our emotions too much because it clouds our judgment and it clouds the way that we work.
Right.
And yeah, and that's why you can see us really holding our cheers in. Like you can see us so calm, but inside we are so stressed. Like the game is stressing us out. but we can't really show that, and we can't give in to our emotions because we can't. I mean, I at the first parts of my courtside experience, I'm a very emotional person, so nadadala ako sa emotions, and then the floor directors would remind me, and also
Oh
our,
wow.
yeah, a lot of the people behind the scenes would remind me to keep it in, or to calm myself, to separate myself from the game. So I developed that skill as the journey went on. And I think towards the end of basketball, I understood how to separate myself. Then volleyball came in. It was a whole different game. And I had to understand how to separate myself again. So that's something that we really had to practice as courtside reporters.
Wow. I didn't know there were like certain rules pala that applied. So, paano yun? Like, wasn't it like extremely maybe harder for you because diba like some courtside reporters, they don't become courtside reporters for their own school. Yeah, but you're from UP, and then you also uh did it for UP.
Yeah.
So you had even more skin in the game, but you had to conceal all that.
Yeah, it was freaking hard, dude. Oh my gosh. And yeah, for the point where you said that the other court sides don't get the court side for their school, there's a lot of different reasons as to how they assign the court sides for the school. But in my case, when they assigned me to UP, they told me that I have to prove to them why I should be the courtside reporter for UP. So there are different challenges
Mm.
per person. Yes, it's hard to courtside for a different school, but it's also hard to courtside for the same school because you are supposed to be like a master, or you're supposed to understand that school already and be in the culture and all those stuff. So that's what I had to do. I had to prove to the people watching, to the people behind the scenes, that I could courtside for UP, and I could carry courtsiding for my school. Yeah.
Wow. Well, congrats to you. I mean, that's I can imagine like especially like if I were in your shoes and if I was doing it for my school, I
Mm-hmm.
would not be able to hold that in, especially the games.
My gosh, it was a challenge, but you have to do your job.
Right, right. So, okay, there's this uh I guess you would say an outsider's perspective, like looking in, like okay, me, what I see, of course, I see you guys like you guys do your research, you guys talk
Mhm.
to the players, coaches, and then yeah, every now and then you'd go on the camera, report, cover stuff. What's it like behind the scenes? Because like yun nga, like for me, like that's what I see. So, are there more stuff that you actually do, like prepare or like do you prepare for?
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually a lot going on behind the scenes. So first of all, we have the more vlogs that we also do for the social media of
Mm,
ABS, and that we are the first batch to do that. So that was something that we had to experience, and nanga pa rin kami, and also the social media team. So um it we were supposed to pave the way for that opportunity for the next courtside reporters. Sadly, with the shutdown and everything, we were the first and last to do it at the moment. So we prepared for the vlogs too. We had to ask the players if they wanted to be filmed today, or if they wanted to be included in the vlog. In terms of preparation and being with the players, there were also certain things that I couldn't share with the audience, and that
right.
I had to know how to filter everything that they told me, because being in that close vicinity with them, of course, it would be hard for them to filter everything or to just pick the things that they'd want me to say. So I was there with the role of being the bridge with uh, from the between the team and the fans and the broadcast. But with that, we also had to be a gate or be a filter towards that, because not everything that we see in practice should be broadcasted or
Mm.
should be said to the entire population of the Philippines. So yeah, that was also a challenge. That's something that we had to prepare for, and we had to mentally and emotionally strengthen ourselves for the situation that we were put in.
Okay. So out of the entire season, you I mean, obviously you've been through a lot in that season, did a lot of stuff and put in a lot of work. What did you get out of it? Like, what would you say yung napulot mo after that entire experience?
Okay, I can't answer this like with one answer,
Yeah, of
because
course.
I
There's a
got
lot.
so much stuff. Like I okay, I cried the when we had when the season was canceled, and then I cried when ABS-CBN was shut down, and then yeah, this lockdown was an emotional roller coaster for me because everything just got cut.
Mm-mm.
Um yeah, sobrang bilis, and it was just so jarring. So there were I because I knew that if the season went on, I could have gotten more learning and I could have honed my skills more with the volleyball team, with the men's and women's volleyball team, and with other sports if they would let us. So, um, although the time that I had with the season and the UAP and ABS, I got so much stuff like learning how to talk about news in terms of making it engaging and making the audience understand what you're talking about. I learned how to deal with different personalities and how to reflect their personalities in the reports that I do. Um, oh, for the most part, I learned how to be kaladkarin because
Mm.
before the UAP, like my parents wouldn't let me go out like suddenly, but because of the UAP and all of the events that the
Mm.
basketball team had, the
Kailangan na.
volleyball teams cheered hands. Yeah, I was just like, oh, today I'm going here, then tomorrow I'm going there, and sometimes they just invite me all of a sudden. So that was super fun. That I think that was the most development I had. Like naging kalad kanin lang talaga ako.
So, like, and then before that, you weren't allowed to really go out.
Eh, di naman not allowed. It's just my parents needed to be primed, or like they needed to be
Mm, I see.
preempted with wherever I was gonna go and who I was gonna go with. I wasn't the type of um child to be able to go anywhere at any time. But yeah, because of the UAP, I think my parents understood the course of my career more. That wherever like the news would take us or wherever stories would take us, we had to be in that area. So yeah, not only me but my parents and my family also grew with me with all of the experiences that I had.
That's cute.
They supported me like legit. They supported me in everything that I did. And yeah, I think we all grew together, and they also learned because I also talked about like my learnings, my experiences with them. So yeah, it was a team effort, family.
That's cute. All right. What about? Okay, this just popped out of my head. Uh, it sounds like you had like a ton of experiences, right? So out of all of those, what's your what's your go-to story? Like when someone asks you, Yani, what was maybe like your craziest or most memorable experience? What's your go-to story?
Mm.
Madami
It's
ba?
really hard to answer. Yeah.
It's okay.
Super
Just go
hard to
for it.
answer. There are
Anything that
actually
comes to
stories
mind.
that there are stories that I can't disclose to the
Of course, of
public.
course. Yung pwede lang.
Okay. So, okay. Um, relating it to my Kalad Karen moments,
Hmm.
the volleyball team actually invited me to their um, team building activity, and not a lot of court sides were able to go to that. And it's usually them lang, diba? Whenever I hear about the team building activities of the teams, I understand that it's personal and it's something that they're the ones who experience. But
Right.
I think 2 days before or a day before, they told me, "Oh, do you want to join?" And I was kind of apprehensive because I didn't. It they were also
Yeah,
I knew that they were
it's a team
gonna
building.
share personally. Yeah, it's a team building. Actually, I was also invited sa basketball team building, but that time di pa I was kind of, di pa ako kalad-karid masyado. So when the volleyball team volleyball team invited me, and the as different people from the team would told the coaches, I haven't even decided. So they're the ones who asked the coaches and the staff and the management for me, and they were like, "Oh, Yani, pwede na, go, go, go." So I was like, "Okay." So we're all going. So I went with them to the beach, and I really bonded with them in the parang I think it was an overnight stay lang. But
Uh huh.
in that stay, I bonded with the girls, with the team. I learned so much about them. And that's one of the moments I look back to, and sabi ko parang sayang, ang dami kong pwedeng sabihin about these girls, and I could have talked about their stories and gotten the audience to know about them more, because I was privileged enough to be in that certain position. And there are also stories that I couldn't talk about. So it was a really great experience for me in terms of bonding with them as a friend, as a human being, instead of bonding with them as their courtside reporter.
Wow. All right. That's cute.
Senti. Thank you.
So now that the season's done and you are already working, right? So what? Okay, okay. Before that, pala, I just thought of it now as well. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but you graduated with Latin honors, right?
Yes,
Okay, course.
you're right. Broadcast communication.
Okay, how did you get a job? Before I explain my side.
What?
No, I mean, okay, did you
What
just
do you mean,
go
how did I
through
get a job?
like, okay, okay, I'm gonna find a job. Okay, I like this one. Send a resume, and then you just got it, or did you go through like a lot of companies, or
Oh my goodness. I think I know where you're trying to. Okay, sige. So, with my job now? Or like
yeah?
courtside, or like
No, no, no. I
what?
mean,
Which one?
with your job now.
Oh, okay. So, I got it because I was referred to by
Mm,
the person who got this job before me is one of my friends, and he was also a courtside reporter, and he mentored me also. So when he stepped down of this job, he referred me. So that's how I got this job. I wasn't applying for jobs in the lockdown. I was kind of concentrating on my social media and
right.
my hosting and stuff like that. So this job was like something that came out of, like, it really surprised me, but I'm really honored that people would refer me for jobs like this, and trust my skills and my experience and talent to be able to, do things like sports stuff.
Yeah.
Sports stuff.
No,
But
it's
guys,
good.
I know more about sports. I know more about sports now.
No, I mean it's really good because like um like I would say you're really lucky to get a job, and especially something that's within your ballpark, because I mean,
Mm,
let's face it, a lot of people are getting laid off right
yeah.
now, and I mean, even me, okay? Like, not to compare naman, but
But you
bruh,
are.
I mean, I've been looking for a job since like February, ever since actually December. Because like I finished
Mm,
my last term in school December, and then graduation was February.
yeah.
So ever since December, I was looking for a job na. Tapos wala talaga. I mean, I've had offers. I've turned some down, and I've worked a bit part time here and there. And
Mm.
like I just thought na, graduate from a good school, get some Latin honors, get some good stuff on your resume, and then,
What?
you'd get a job. Pero hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin yan tuloy. Like, I started my own company and gave myself a job.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get a job, just go and give yourself one, I guess.
No, I mean, it's good because a lot of my friends are really struggling to find a job, and those that do get a job, like are super blessed, super happy. So of course, yeah, I'm super happy for you, especially since you look like you love what you're doing. So,
Thank you. I can't do
so
stuff I don't love, like legit.
that's good because okay, honestly, I mean, nothing against corporate, but I my personality, I just can't. I like
Same.
I mean, I have the utmost respect for people who can do corporate because
Yeah.
it is hard. I have tried corporate, especially in my internship, and I can do it. It's just not something I love, you know.
Mm. Yeah.
So I just feel like sometimes, actually, no, not sometimes. Every day, I feel like I need to mentally stimulate myself with something new or something challenging for my
Mm.
brain not to rot. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I kind of get your point. But respect to the people who can do corporate and
Yes.
respect to everyone in their different situations now, especially in this time. So guys, laban. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so since I touched up on it, I would like to ask, um, like, okay, full disclosure to everyone who's watching, I did not give Yani any guide questions or anything. So this is all spontaneous.
I was wondering actually when the guide questions would come up, but I was like, okay, never mind.
Oh,
Let's just go. No, it's
well,
fine. Like a lot of my friends who have podcasts, they don't give me guide questions too because we're friends. So I usually just go with it.
right. No, I mean, uh, okay, out of all the episodes we've done so far, I've never given guide questions because I feel like it kind of takes away from the natural flow of things. Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, you've been
Yes.
great so far, so no worries.
Oh, thanks.
But
Oh
going
my
back,
gosh.
uh, you know a lot about sports. Your job is also directly related to sports. Is there anything that you know about sports cards?
Okay. So I did a live stream with the UP men's basketball team, and one of the players actually is very much into sports cards. So he gave me a quick overview regarding that.
Are
It's
you
kind of
allowed to
like
drop the
paintings.
name? No,
Oh,
I might
Prox
know
lang
him.
kasi. AJ
AJ.
Madrigal.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We talk about sports
Oh, you do?
cards like every now and then. Yeah.
Really? Are you joking? Are
Sorry.
you joking? No, that's legit.
Wait.
Can you hear me?
I think I got cut. Hello. Sorry. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I can hear you, but
Okay.
can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can
It's
you hear
okay now.
me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying. Is that a joke? Like, you know AJ talaga?
Yeah, no, because before I went, okay, my high school, most of my high school at least was in Zabel, but before I went to
Mm.
Zabel, I was from GH, as in Lasal Green Hills. So
Oh.
I have a lot of friends from GH, and yeah, we actually have a group chat just to talk about sports cards. Like, yeah, we just chat every now and then with AJ, some of the other GH friends, and yeah, he's really into it.
Wait, AJ is GH?
Madrigal, AJ Madrigal,
Yeah?
right? Uh,
Yeah,
I,
wait. You know what? Is it
I
the
think
same AJ
so.
that we're
I
I feel like
mean,
also.
our group chat is composed of everyone from GH, so I would assume he is.
Okay. I guess. I'm stalking him right now. Like, I didn't imagine kasi na he was from GH. Like, GH guys have a vibe.
What kind of
You know,
vibe?
you guys, people always ask me that whenever I bring up the vibe.
It's okay. I completely
GH guys
understand the
have a
vibe.
vibe. Ateneo guys have a vibe.
Everyone does. You know.
See,
Why? Where did you go to high school?
yeah, everyone has a vibe. Do you want to guess from my vibe?
Okay. Okay.
I think you can. Wait, are you gonna guess?
Yes. Okay, can
So
you
you're
help me
guessing.
out? All girls school,
Okay.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait? You didn't stalk me prior, right? You
Never.
might be doing this with an upper hand.
No
Okay,
hands,
okay.
no anything. Okay.
So yeah.
All I know is you're junior
Okay.
jock from Magic and you were from UP and you did courtside. Like,
All right.
that's pretty
Game,
much it.
game.
And yeah, I just see your tweets and stories every now and then. Um,
All right.
okay, all girls school vibe.
Yeah, okay, I'm giving you three questions.
Three
So you already
questions.
asked all girls school.
Uh huh.
That's already one.
Okay.
You have two left.
North, not south.
If you, yes. Okay, you have one left. Then you have to guess.
MC.
I think you can guess. Oh my god, yeah. How did you know? Why? How did you
It's
know? How did
just
you know? Yeah, I want to know this.
it's man like ah, it's how do I describe it? Okay, okay. First of all, you speak you speak Filipino, like
Oh my god.
way better than a lot of people who I know. So that kind of narrows it down.
Okay.
Like you don't have the Konyo accent.
Okay. I didn't know. Some people say that I do, pero go.
Well, there's a little bit, but yung it's not like yung parang like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Gets.
yeah. So that kind of narrowed it down.
Hmm.
And I think that's pretty much the main thing.
Wow. So our two defining factors are
No, no, okay,
doesn't
okay.
sound that Konyo and she speaks Filipino.
Wait, there's one more why it kind of led me to it. You don't seem maarte.
Ayan. Okay, for
Tama
everyone
ba?
watching, let's just disclaimer. These are all
It's
stereotypes.
stereotypes. Please don't take it seriously or anything. This was just like a fun game.
Yeah, yeah. Baka kasi people come after
Oh,
us, di ba?
I mean, it's actually fun sometimes just to play around with the stereotypes as long as you don't take it like super seriously or personally.
That's true. It
Because
happens a lot in exclusive the schools na,
right,
no?
and
All girls are all boys.
there's just
Yeah.
sometimes there's just a little truth to it. I mean, not always, of course. I mean, I'm from GH and I'm from Zabel, so sometimes people have a hard time finding out my stereotype because like I'm a hybrid.
Oh my goodness. A Lasal hybrid. And then you went to Lasal for your college, 'di ba?
Yep, I bleed green.
My gosh. Wow.
Okay, so the first time I spoke in Magic, Hannah could tell I was from
Mhm.
Zobel actually because of how chill I spoke.
Ah, ganun?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because
I don't,
like
yeah.
diba in Magic, you kind of have to be upbeat, kind of have to talk fast. So
Yeah.
from the get go, she knew you're from Zabel, right?
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah,
I don't have a lot of experience with Zobel people, so I didn't really. When I met you, I think you were shy, or you didn't talk as much as the others.
yeah. Well, okay. In my defense, everyone seems like an extrovert in my batch, and everyone's kind of like out there. And I'm in general, I think I'm a pretty chill guy. So yeah.
Gets.
And actually, if it wasn't for Magic, I wouldn't even be starting this podcast because, like,
Yeah,
it's done tons for my confidence in general. So yeah,
true. Oh, magic. Loves for magic.
yes, definitely. Okay, so going back to my like original question, like the one that I actually had planned.
Oh, I don't remember. Okay, go.
um, like you mentioned, AJ was talking about sports cards, right?
All right.
That was a
You moved so
major
far.
sidetrack.
Moved so far. Okay, continue.
Yes. What do you know about sports cards, and what was AJ saying about it?
Okay. So what I got from his description is that it's like paintings. When he was describing it, I was like, oh, is it like a painting? He was like, yeah, kinda. So you hold the card until um it the value comes up in terms of like the context of the player, and not just like in games, but the context of that player in general, because they could, like, their value could go up in different circumstances, like they have a movie or they release a sneaker or
Yeah.
whatever.
Wow.
Gosh, I got it.
Well, I did
Did
not.
I?
Like, I didn't expect. Like, okay, yeah, that answer for like would probably be like a 9 out of 10. Like, okay,
Please.
I was expecting like, oh, I don't know much about sports cards, and then I'd actually describe most of the things that you just said.
Oh, sorry.
No, you made my job way easier, so thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, and it's one of the reasons why I actually started my valuable player in the first place,
Mm,
because I just feel like people can, I guess, use their money in other ways besides the traditional way of just putting it into stocks, putting it into a savings account, or sometimes even art. Actually, art's
mm,
a booming industry as well, that you can kind of
yeah.
do the same thing like stocks, sports cards, because those kinds of things just appreciate over time.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, the reason why I was asking some specific questions was because I thought there was some sort of, I guess, similar framework in your experience as a courtside reporter to sports cards in general. So, if you don't mind me
Are you
pitching.
gonna pitch? Guys, he's gonna sell me something. That's the whole point of this podcast.
No naman. I mean, like, okay, I do pitches every now and then, especially since, like, I'm kind of the one who's like out there, especially for the company. So I'm
Okay.
used to the pitch. And,
Okay.
I actually get to apply my psychology degree in the pitch. So, may pakinabang naman yun.
All right. Lay it on me. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's get that.
so I would say it kind of has the same experience when you, of course, you do your research, right? You talk to different people, and that's what you consider like your preparation
Mhm.
before the actual event that you prepare for. Like, for example, when you go on camera, right?
Yeah.
So, in sports cards, I think it's kind of the same process wherein, you have to do your research. You can't just like, hindi ka naman pwedeng pumunta sa camera lang naman tapos bahala na, right? Or I mean,
Mm.
if you're
Yeah.
that good, then um, salute to you. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to do your research and then you prepare for it. And then when you're on the spot, you just hope for the best. Hope that
Mhm.
the work that you put in before was good enough. And I think it's kind of the same process because you study about the player, of course, that you want to buy. You study about the card, and then when you actually buy it, you just hope for the best. And when you mentioned the part that you got a lot of things out of being a courtside reporter, like you said, it really developed parts of your personality, some soft skills, and all that.
Mhm.
Like that's your return on investment, I would say,
Okay.
right? Like you invested
Yeah.
so much time and effort, and then out of it, you got some soft skills, connections, and new kinds of stuff after.
Hmm.
And yeah, same thing with sports cards. I mean, your return on investment is, of course, you can sell it for a profit. So it doesn't sound as nice as the things that you just mentioned. Now that I hear it, but yeah, it's a framework that you do preparation. You're on the spot, hope for the best, and then after it's all said and done, hopefully you're left with something that brings value to you. So yeah, that's why I believe in sports cards in general.
Mhm.
It's because of that whole process, and it's brought tons of value to me, and I just feel like the main reason why I wanted to start like this kind of business was not the mindset of, okay, how do I make the business grow, how do I make money, how do I get more followers. The mindset for me was, how do I provide value to people, you know
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, that's why um, so far it's been really successful. We're transacting hundreds of thousands of pesos. People are getting like good returns on investments. Not everyone, of course, because like you know, as with everything in life, pros and cons, good stuff, bad stuff happens.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess that's why I believe in sports cards because of the framework that people can kind of follow.
Are there people who don't believe in sports cards?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because I mean, okay, that whole explanation that I just pitched, that's like the flattery, flowery part of sports cards. But like
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's a piece of cardboard, right? Like, I mean, it's the size of your phone. It's a piece
Ah,
of cardboard that people just see value in,
it's like
and
money.
yeah, it's
It's like money. Money
basically
is a
kind of
piece of
like money.
paper,
Yeah,
and you
people
just put
just assign
value.
value to it,
Yeah.
right? But it's just that money is like regulated by the government. But
Mm.
in sports cards, like, yeah, you use the money, of course, and there's always the possibility, of course, if your player gets injured, that's gonna go down in value. or
Mm,
it's a game of supply and demand, I would say as well. You know, if the supply just far outside exceeds the demand, then yeah, prices will go down. There's a lot of factors to it, and that's why a lot of people are also scared to get
mm,
into it. So definitely both sides of the story go, you know, goes both ways.
yeah. As do like a lot of things
Yeah.
in life.
Okay, 1 to 10. I don't think I did a good job. I because I think like this kind of like got to me, but at the end of the episode, 1 to 10.
A
How was
good
that
job in your
pitch?
pitch. Oh, so I'm rating your pitch. Oh my gosh.
You can be brutally honest. I would appreciate that.
But you pitched it to me who I didn't have any stigma against sports cards in the first place.
Yeah, I
I found
mean,
it very interesting.
oh
Yeah.
wow, thank you.
I think okay, let's can we do it like in a okay, numbers in general, I don't really agree with numbers. I don't like math.
Okay,
So, I'm going to do it in a like if I were to buy a sports card of someone who doesn't buy sports cards,
okay,
I would buy a sports card after that pitch if you'd show me a player that has high like alam mo yun, parang with the NBA right now, parang it would be cool if you actually had a sports card and you brought it out and you're like, oh, this card actually costs this amount of money na now. And I'd be like, whoa, that's kind of which card has the most amount of ano now? Can you
uh,
say or is that something that
yeah,
you can't
yeah, I can, I
say?
can.
Okay.
Okay, I can answer it for basketball because I'm
Yeah.
um most versed in basketball cards at
Yeah.
least. The record for the most expensive card was sold for almost $1.9 million for uh Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Mm, mm,
No,
yeah.
okay, you know LeBron
No,
James.
I mean that's so cool. No, I know.
Okay, you know
I was
Giannis.
like, yeah. I
Okay, okay,
was
okay.
freaking out inside. I was kind of shocked.
Okay, but now that you mentioned it, uh, yeah, I was not prepared. Can you give me 5 seconds so I can grab a sports card?
Yeah, I'd love to see one. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So
Okay,
you keep it in a plastic bag. Is that to like to keep it
actually,
safe?
not really. I just like to like separate my cards by like okay. I just have like two categories: stuff that I'll hold long term, and then stuff that like maybe I'll sell by next year or stuff like that.
Okay.
So I just keep them separate. But yeah,
Okay.
uh, like I mentioned a while ago, LeBron James, yeah, one of the most expensive cards that were out there,
Yeah.
and this cost me a lot of money.
You
And
have one?
no, not the exact card that sold for like 1.8 million, but I have his
Oh
rookie
my
card
god.
that
Oh my god.
you can just imagine the look on my mom's face when I told her how much I spent on this.
Whoa.
But hey, like
Whoa.
yeah, this is LeBron James's rookie card, which was a couple of years back. This wasn't even like um, couple of years back. This would probably be just like just a few thousand pesos.
Mm.
But because it appreciated over time, now it's worth 80K.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's yeah, I spent months of my salary on this. So yeah, I'm hoping it uh plays well for me.
Wait. So you're rooting for the Lakers?
Um I actually have a Tyler Hero card as well.
Oh, yes!
But
You do! Oh my gosh, I was gonna ask if you did have a Tyler Hero card.
yeah, his cards have been popping recently because yeah, he's been great. And I would
That's
honestly
good.
say looks actually play a factor as well. Like pag
I
gwapo
think it
yung
makes sense.
player,
Mm.
it just like Luka Doncic. Like okay, I
I'm
mean he's
gonna search
good.
him.
He's good.
Gonna
Plays for the Dallas
search.
Mavericks. But
Okay.
dahil guapo, like people just love the cards more.
I think it makes sense though.
Yeah.
Do we have cards for like Filipino players? Do we have those?
Um there are,
Or
but
is it
from what I know, it's not really produced in a big scale. Like
mm,
I think they're very scarce, if I'm not mistaken.
does
Yeah.
that mean it's more mahal?
Actually, that's the thing about sports cards. It doesn't necessarily equate to just because it's rare, it's super valuable already. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's rare. The rare part plays a factor into it, but it's the desirability of the card. I would say, like
Mm,
I mean, if you could have the rarest card of all time, but if people just don't like that player, people
it's
won't spend money for it. But
mm,
yeah, it's it's a crazy market. Like,
I have a question.
okay, shoot.
Okay. So there are different types of cards for one player, like the LeBron James card. There are
Yeah,
different types of cards for LeBron.
yeah.
Oh,
It's because like there's different brands, there's different like sets, and sometimes cards have signatures or autographs on them. Sometimes the card also has like a small patch of a game used jersey from the player. Those go for like extremely expensive. Like if there's a
there is a
jersey patch.
small patch of the jersey, not even the jersey itself.
Well, I mean, how can you fit, like a big piece of the
It
jersey?
comes with it.
Like they just get like a small square and they put it on the card. And then if it has like an autograph like it's like
Oh,
could be a 6-digit card actually.
nice. Ah,
But yeah, this is actually pretty fun. Like talking okay, because like everyone who's been here on the podcast have had experience with cards. So this is like a first for me trying to
okay.
pitch.
So I'm the novice. I'm like the pinaka not experienced with sports cards here on the podcast. Yeah.
You make it sound so bad.
No, I'm just trying to gauge. I'm
But
trying
yeah,
to gauge.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Can
So
you show
far,
me the Tyler Hero card? I want to see. Or is it not there with you?
hold on.
My godness.
Okay, the reason
Oh,
why he's in a separate bag is because I kind of wanna. Okay, like the stuff that I wanna hold long term are like stuff that are like from like super established players already, like LeBron and stuff. But since Tyler Hero is like still super young,
yeah.
I'm not yet super sold on him if I want to hold long term. But
Okay.
here,
Wow. Who makes these cards? It's
the
metallic.
the brand is called Panini, like the sandwich Panini, and yeah, they basically make the sports cards. So yeah,
In the Philippines, do you think that's gonna fly with the market in the Philippines? Like, for example, you make cards for the UAP or the PBA. Do you think it's gonna
yeah,
do
definitely.
some? Really?
It could.
So why hasn't anyone done? Are there? Oh yeah, there are. You said, pero
There
onte
are,
lang.
yeah, but I would say kasi like Okay, I think there's just a lot of people who watch the NBA more than the PBA because we're
Mm,
really westernized, if you can say that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in terms of popularity, kasi, like, I think that's why the NBA just is more appreciated, and I would say the PBA isn't as appreciated as much as it should be. But I feel like if a company started to produce them at scale and the the people would, um, appreciate like local, like UAAP,
Mm,
PBA more, then yeah, there would definitely be a market. Because okay, I know you just said you don't like math, but
okay.
um, there's roughly $500,000 transacted per day in the sports cards market. So there's tons of volume. It's just a matter of where to place your money. So I think yeah, there
Mm,
could be.
mm. Oh, that's interesting because like you have personalities like Richie Rivera, Kobe Paras, and I'm like, do you think sports cards are gonna fly? I think Richie Rivera would have a
Yeah,
pretty
I would agree.
a demand in sports cards.
Yeah, I'd agree. Malakas si Richie eh.
Yeah.
People go crazy over his TikToks. So if he had a sports card, yeah, that would fly.
There we go. So, guys, we've just created a sports card suggestion here for the Philippines. Take it, take it as you will.
Hmm. You never know. Maybe we can.
You guys
Puede.
have a company, so
Puede, puede.
especially when sports comes back, it's gonna boom. Like after the lockdown and the
That's
quarantine,
true.
everything's just gonna boom.
That's true. I think
So
that's why actually the market here in the Philippines started to boom with sports cards because yun nga, sports got canceled, and then the bubble was announced in the NBA, and then ever since the bubble was announced, prices of the cards have been going crazy. As in, like you would see cards just doubling in value every week or something. So
that's interesting.
yeah,
Because yung broadcast rating ng Game 1 ng NBA, it was the lowest
right.
rating
I saw that
in
as well.
history. I was like, what? Nobody's watching? Are people maybe streaming it? That's why.
Yeah, I feel like number one, illegal streaming is always part of that because I know for a fact a lot of Filipinos would rather watch a Facebook live stream or sa kapitbahay or whatever or borrow an account than buy their own
Yeah.
NBA League Pass. That's number one. And then number two, um, it's tough because all sports in general are back. You're also competing with baseball. You're competing with
All right.
football,
NFL right
soccer.
now.
Everything is back. It's a great time for sports. So it's hard to compete with like a lot of shows on. And number three, not everyone was expecting the Heat to make it. They're considered like super underdogs. So
I know. I love the story that they made for the Heat. It's really good. Like
yeah,
you have the star-studded Lakers, and then you have the Heat. It's like Ateneo, the Lakers.
yeah. I don't know why that storyline doesn't sell as much. I think it's underrated, to be honest.
I think the storyline that they pushed more was LeBron going against um, Spol. I get
Spolstra.
Eric Spolstra. Yeah, I
Yes.
think that was the one of the storylines that they pushed more.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of interviewers asked them a lot of stuff, but them individually didn't actually give a lot of meat towards the storyline in my perspective. So
Yeah. All right. Uh, okay, before we wrap it up, do you have any other questions for me?
wow, this podcast flipped, guys. I was the one asking the questions na padulo. Wow.
No, I mean, like, if there's anything you want to know about sports cards, I mean, I just gave a pitch. And usually, when I give a pitch to people, there's like at least 5 questions that I have to answer. So, if you have anything on your mind, or if you don't, if that was boring to you, you can also, just say it.
Hey, don't downplay yourself.
It happens
Okay?
though.
Yeah, but you're doing it first. So it gives other people like the opportunity to downplay you. Don't do it first.
Okay, noted.
Okay, don't downplay yourself. Okay. I don't have questions because the entire time that we were talking I was already asking questions. I mean,
Fair point.
about Tyler Hero and all of the sports cards here in the Philippines and stuff like that. So, I think I exhausted my brain cells. If I'd ask you more questions, I'd ask you like directly. I kind of understand the sports card thing because I didn't collect sports cards, but I did collect like Yu-Gi-Oh or like Card Capture
Mm,
Sakura cards. And there was no value to it. Like you just buy it and then you keep it for yourself.
yeah.
I understand the interest that comes with it and why people would like to have a certain type of card. So yeah, I think that's me. That's from my end.
Okay. At least I was able to answer your questions. Yeah, you're right. It did kind of flip at the end.
Yeah,
All right.
nice. This podcast.
Do you have anything you want to plug and promote before we head out?
Um, uh, well, you guys can follow me in Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Kumu, YouTube at It's Yani Mayo for all of that. And more importantly, just want to tell everyone to register for their voting so that, we can change this country. We're all sick of it, but guys, register to vote and to vote as well in the future. So, more importantly, that's all. I'm done.
All right, there you have it. And yeah, guys, do follow her socials. She posts funny content.
It's real content that people find funny.
Yeah. Follow her socials, guys. Anyway, thank you so much, Yanni, for joining me here on the podcast today. It means a lot. And yeah, for those of you who are listening, don't forget to follow Yani Mayo on her socials and follow My Valuable Player on our socials as well. It's at My Valuable Player on Instagram and on Facebook. And yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you so much once again. My name is Justin Alvarado, and that's the MVP podcast. Take care,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Woo!
Thank you so much for watching. If you dig that video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. And last but not least, don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any video.